Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. Guys, I've gotten asked a bunch of questions over the last couple months regarding the Berkeley Coal Shed and why I haven't done a review video on it. And the honest answer is I haven't thrown it yet. I don't actually even have a Berkeley Coal Shed. It took quite a bit of time for them to come out, and then I know there were some distribution issues. I never was able to get any of them. I do have an order in right now for some with Tackle Warehouse, but I haven't actually got my hands on them yet. So when I get the questions from you guys regarding it, the honest answer is I haven't had any. But I figured I would do a video talking about some of the other bigger swim baits that I like to throw. I think it's pretty evident at this point that a bigger swim bait, and when I say bigger, I'm talking about something in the 6 inch range or even bigger that can really generate a better quality bite for you. A lot of times I think you're talking about fishing a bait that doesn't get nearly as many bites, but you get some really good attention from bigger fish and better than average quality fish. And for me, it is definitely a bait that I've got tied on for almost every tournament I fish. Now, I don't necessarily make, you know, 3 hours worth of casts with it, but I can tell you I probably make 30 casts a day, hoping to generate one or two big bites throughout the tournament day. So I wanted to walk you through some of the ones that I really have a lot of confidence in, the ones that I tend to go to. Now, I can't necessarily say I've got one over another that I throw in certain situations. A lot of times it just happens to be which one I see in my box at the time, and therefore I'll tie it on. Now, I will say, if I'm on a good swim bait bite, I might have three or four of these tied on and I'll rotate through to see if I can get more bites on one versus the other. Because what I have found is that commonly one swim bait does outproduce other swim baits. And I can't necessarily sit here and tell you why that is in that given moment, but it is important a lot of times to roll through them, especially when you're talking about these 6+ inch swim baits. Not only is it important a lot of times to rotate actual swim baits, but it's important to rotate colors within those swim baits as well. So let's get through some of these, some of my favorites. The one that I'm holding right here, this is a Mission Fish by 316 Lure Company. This is one of my favorites. I love to throw this around isolated cover. So if I'm maybe skipping docks with it or fishing around a couple of random laydowns, it just is a really good running bait. It's a wider profile and it comes through the water. It tends to run high up in the water column, but it just is a good bait to get fish from shallow water to come up and commit to it. I've caught some really big fish on this guy. This is a pretty popular one in terms of professional level tournament anglers. I can tell you a bunch of people that have done really well on this specific bait in a lot of different lakes across the country. And I've seen very similar success with it. One of my favorites to throw, and these are getting kind of tough to find at times, bigger Bass Tricks lures. So this is actually an 8 inch one. I've got a bunch of 7 and 8 inch. They can be harder to find, some of the bigger models. I don't actually think they're making the 8 inch anymore, but there is something special about a big old Bass Tricks hollow belly swim bait coming through the water, generate some big bites. I've had absolutely phenomenal days on this one on the Tennessee River Lakes, Gunnersville, Kentucky, Pickwick. Those lakes have produced some really big fish for me on this specific bait. This one I'm actually prototyping a weedless tush for you, which hopefully should be out sometime soon. But the Bass Tricks are great baits to be throwing for your better than average bites. Now, we all know how good the Kitech Swing Impact Fats are. This is a 5.8, so on the small size there, but I do have a whole bunch that go much larger than that. Just a really good true running swim bait. I will say personally, though, that I have better success on the wider bodied baits, your Bass Tricks, as well as some of your more actual lifelike looking baits, which is weird to me because the Kitechs tend to perform so well when you get smaller. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad bait. I still definitely throw it. I think they're great baits. I'm just saying, for whatever reason, I feel like the smaller ones generate a lot more bites for me than the bigger ones when I compare them to other swim baits of the same size. But I definitely still really like throwing the bigger Kitech Swing Impact Fats. Another one of my favorites, and I've talked about this on the channel before, this is a D&M Custom. These are hard-bodied swim baits. They have really good tail kick. I've caught some absolute giants on these baits. One of my favorites, to be honest with you, and it works extremely well. This is, again, our tush, which is great for me because, like I said, I love this swim bait, and the tush heads run so good in it. This is the 7/0 3/4 ounce. Whether you're slow rolling it along the bottom or you're just kind of swimming it on the surface, say around floating docks or whatever it is, these are absolutely killer. And then the last one that I've been playing around with quite a bit the last couple of years and having a ton of success is this guy. This is called the Babe by Fishing for Five. These are really tough to get. This is molded. I'm just going to leave the top on, but these are molded after, actually I can take it off. If you're familiar with the old Bass Pro Shops XPS swim baits that are really sought after, that's kind of what these are molded after. Absolutely killer baits. There's a lot of pros that are fishing these and having a lot of success. But again, these are, more of your bigger bodied swim baits that are meant to kind of attract that just better than average quality fish. But this is just a dynamite one, runs really good, has awesome wobbles, tail kick, side to side roll. Just a really good swim bait. Very difficult to get, but you can get them on their website, Fishing for Five. It's called the Babe Swim Bait. And these are pretty much it, guys. When I'm looking to throw a bigger swim bait, these are the ones that I'm using. I'll definitely, once I get some of the coal shads in from Berkeley, I'll definitely do a review video for you and let you know how they compare to some of these. But for right now, these are my confidence baits. These are the ones that I'm throwing during tournaments. Let me know in the comment section, what are some of your favorite 6+ inch soft plastic swim baits that you throw on a regular basis? I'd love to know from you as well. I'll probably end up dropping several $100s more on your suggestions. So let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned, new video coming out tomorrow.